Hi there, welcome back. This is part 3 of the Telefunken Gavotte 55 restoration series, and as you can see, I've been busy. The entire front was cleaned up. I showed part of it in the last video. And again, not a sign of rust. Everything came out very, very cleanly. I then replaced this light diffuser. This was done with some tracing paper, the thicker stuff. And it looks pretty good, even if I say so myself. Now this thing's been a joy to clean up because everything is shiny. Everything is, once you get through the grime, it's just come out beautifully, really, really nicely. As you can tell from the 2 tubes in there, I'm ready to do a demo of this thing. Now the power amp has been checked, as has the preamp. In other words, the entire audio stage is done. And the power supply is done, okay, which I covered last time. Now, as you can see, this thing's got a lot of red on here. Now, what did I find? Well, besides the 2 filter caps, which were obvious, and I wanted to swap those out, I found some things burnt out that I wasn't expecting. This resistor is that power resistor I replaced, but there was also another one here, the grounding resistor here, 800K, that was completely open. So that meant that this tube, the power tube, would not have biased. You would get a sort of 6 volts or something here, but you wouldn't really get the negative reference, or those grounds reference that you'd need to create a proper bias. So that was replaced. All the other caps have been replaced. There are 1 or 2 exceptions. There's one here, 10 nanofarad, which is a polystyrene. That was left in there. That checks out perfectly. So everything has been checked from the input of the gramophone. Signal goes through here, goes to the top of the pot. The wiper of the pot comes out here. It goes to that triode preamp stage, and the triode preamp stage then amplifies that. The signal comes out here, goes through that. There's the bass control. What the bass control does really is it takes the signal amplified at the anode of that triode, the triode section of that tube. So your signal is here. It's decoupled, AC coupled with that capacitor, through that capacitor to stop all DC coming through, 10 nanofarads. And then you've got the signal here, let's call it all frequencies. Now, if you have this thing at 0, it means that there's a very big resistance here, 16 meg. Very big resistance for it to go through there, so it'll go through here, and what happens is that it's only the high frequencies get through. If you bring that down, basically short it out, it means all frequencies go through that 300 puff capacitor. So this is how you adjust the amount of bass that gets through. That then gets to a 100K resistor. There's a grid stop of 2K, and it goes into the grid of that EL84. The way that the treble works, so that's bass control. The treble control is it takes a signal from here. Where are we? Yeah, from here. And it feeds it through a, there's a 10 nanofarad capacitor. And if you take that thing and you push it to the left, you're creating a short to ground. The short being through that 10 nanofarad capacitor. If it's the wipers to the right, you've got a very big resistance here. And then, of course, that's what feeds the electrostatic tweeter, which in turn is fed from here through that capacitor. So that's how your tone control works. It's a very simple, very basic, but functional tone control. None of those complex ones we've seen before. Other than that, what have we got worthy of note? Oh, yes. There is a difference between the schematic that I have here, the schematic that I was sent with the radio, and the actual radio itself. There are 3 different versions here. What I found is that this feedback circuit, this feedback comes from the speaker, goes through a resistor and a capacitor, and there was a bypass on the schematic. I'll speak about that in a second. It would then come back here to the bottom of the volume control. So that it feeds back certain frequencies depending on this cutoff frequency here. The the cutoff frequency created by this filter, which is 6K, and in this case it said 6K and 150 nanofarads. What I actually had here was the difference is that in the schematic I got, it says 4K and 22 or 0.22 microfarads. That's what I found was actually in the radio, but it had been replaced. So I replaced it. The resistor is fine. I replaced that capacitor there. This function here does not exist on mine. That's why it's in orange. So basically the whole thing is done, and I'm ready to feed a signal into here, and it'll go through there, and I would have selected gramophone or pickup at this switch over here. That's K, 1, 2, and 3. So that would be the pickup. If I had the other one selected, any of the others, it will come from here, from the radio section. So my signal will go through that capacitor, up there to the volume control, through the wiper, depending on what volume level I have, amplified by that triode. It'll come in here, bass control, treble control, and it'll be amplified by the L84, which then uses that transformer as the load, and that passes it through to the secondary, and you have your audio. So what I'm going to do is precisely that. I'm going to feed the signal in here, and we'll see what we get in the output. Okay, we're all set. I think it's all set. I've got my speaker connected. Signal generator is ready, and the scope is ready. So now I'm going to put the volume on high, and I'm going to put all the switches, the lights off except the one, and I'm going to switch it on, right? So I've got one light bulb, 40 watts is what's limiting the current, so a big limitation on the current. And now I'm going to hit gramophone. Let's see what happens. It should bright up and then dim down. Bingo. Okay, that's acting like it should. It's drawing 80 milliamps and it's seeing 219 volts. Now, as the two tubes start conducting, we should see something. I'm hearing a buzz. It's drawing more current. Okay, good. That's what it's supposed to do. Now we've got our dial lamp is on. It was not blown, which is great. So the dial lamp is working. There's my volume. And I'm going to switch on the signal generator, give it a 600 Hertz signal. 100 millivolt output. Let's see what we get. Yep. There's a lot of hum. Actually, quite a lot of hum. Let's see what the signal looks like on the scope. Okay, well that's rather disappointing because there's quite a bit of hum. A lot of hum here. My signal's there, but the hum is really taking over. Why is that? Let's see, something's not connected properly here. Okay, the result is I've got this thing working, but the hum is not acceptable. Now, why would that be? Well, could be the tube. No. I'm just rocking the tubes. Just wondering what could be the cause of so much hum. Let's see if I give it. That's the bass control I'm playing with. Okay, I had the treble all the way down. It could be something to do with that, but I doubt it. See, if we do this, what we're seeing dancing away. So something's picking up a lot of hum. Okay. That's fine, we know what that is now. This could be, I've replaced the capacitors, just wondering what else it could be. It could be lead dress, it could be the tube itself. Anyway, that's progress so far. Okay, watch this. If you can hear the hum, gone. See? So this has got to do with the tube socket. If I've just muted the signal, watch this. There's the hum. There, it's gone. So our tube socket needs a bit more cleaning. Okay, good. I thought it was something serious. Okay, but while we're at it, we're going to check something else. I mean, why not? We've got the amplifier working. So I'm going to put in the other tubes, which is, I'll switch the radio off. ECC 85, that's the FM section. Put that guy in. EF 89, which is the IF amplifier. And the ECH 81, which is the mixer oscillator. And what we're going to do is, I've already put in the mini whip antenna to the back. We'll see if we get radio. So, what is that? Long wave? I've got the restriction on maximum, so I've got one light bulb. Oh, nice. Okay. The other thing I forgot to mention, the Magic Eye was completely clobbered physically, so I've put in a new one. I've used the Russian one, the 61EP, is it? Something like that. And it's actually lighting up nicely. But let me show you. Let's see if we get anything. Bugger all. Maybe make sure this thing's still on. Yep. Give it another light bulb or two. Ah, yes, I can hear radio. Very weak. But there's something there. Try medium wave. Ah, brilliant. Brilliant. That's medium wave. That's Canary Islands. Perfect. Medium wave's working. Not particularly sensitive. Got the volume on max. Not sensitive at all, actually. But it's working. Let's try FM. I don't hear anything. Let me try and give it more current. So I don't hear anything at all. I'm right up to the speaker. 0. Not good. Not good at all. FM's not working. Anyway, never mind. I wasn't expecting everything to work out. What is the result? We've got a bit of hum here. It's got probably to do with some of the cleaning of the tube sockets. We're receiving medium wave and long wave, not particularly clearly, not very sensitively, but we are getting it through, which means that the entire IF circuit with the mixed oscillator at the front, that's working. The IF transformers are more or less in tune. The IF amplifier is working. This is for AM, and now FM we've got bugger all. So something's wrong there, but it could be, well, because I found a couple of resistors burnt out, it could be just a resistor that's not supplying B plus to here. I should check that. That's what I'm going to do now. Okay, I'm going to hit, let me put a bit of restriction. I don't need that much on here. I've got FM selected. I've got the ECC85 removed, and the anodes are 1 and 6, and I should get B plus. So let's see, 1. Okay, I've got B plus there. 1. I've got B plus there. Yep. It's receiving B plus, so that's not the problem. The problem is something else. It could be in the switching. Right, I'm going to have to investigate further. Well, I've been knocking around here for a while after the last clip. I actually replaced the ECC85 with a tube that I know is working. The result was exactly the same. So it's not the tube. So instead of knocking my head against the wall, I'm just going to do what I normally do, which is start looking at this one stage at a time. Now with the output stage done and the reception on the AM confirmed, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the recap on the radio section, both AM and the link up from the FM front end. I hope the problem is not inside the front end, but we shall see. So, a little bit more troubleshooting, a little bit more recapping, and then I'll be back to report back again. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, click like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I'll see you back soon for the next video in the series. And if you want to support the channel directly, you can do so on Patreon. Links are at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Stay safe.